Welcome back to this channel. And I have been putting out some words, and I've been getting good feedback from people. They're telling me it's helping them, and that is exactly the reason why I'm doing this. The first thing I want to make it clear to everyone is that this is not for everybody. This is not for everybody who gets to see it. My target audience is people who not only want to grow but who need to grow, who have no other choice but to improve themselves, who have no privilege to stay where they are. All right, this is for them, but more specifically, dividing that segment, further, this is for people who understand that growth and improvement and progress is a long game. It's not something short. It's not you don't use a magic wand and cook up something great out of nothing, right? This is for people who understand that through continuous repeated um, works, we can achieve what we want to achieve. All right. So if you are one of those people, then the discussion today might be of help to you. All right. So what are we going to talk about today? Today we're talking about when we are starting out something, be it business, be it any venture that you're starting out. There's so many things to choose from. All right. What should you choose? What should you do? What should you invest your time in? If you have time to invest, what do you invest your time in? If you have money to invest, what do you invest your money in? So how do you choose? So like there are hundreds of things. How do you pick one thing from those hundred things? There are some insights about that. So I've struggled with perfectionism, with stagnation for a long period of time, and the things that I tell you have worked for me. They might not work for you, I'm not sitting here guaranteeing you that these will work, but these are some things that have helped me. That's why I'm sharing them with you. All right. So there are two things to consider when choosing your next steps, when choosing your next idea or your venture. The first one is market research. All right. And before telling you the second one, I'll go on talk about market research a bit. Market is continuously changing. It always changes, just like the seasons, right? We have winters these days, and we'll soon have summers. And they do not stay. Things keep changing, so the markets keep changing, right? So whatever you are trying to do up next, you'll have to look at the market. You'll have to see where the market has come from, how it has evolved to where it has come right now, and then how do you see the market changing in future. When you have this knowledge, so you get to understand the market better, you get to understand your competitors better, and then you get to forecast what is going to change in the future. Now, that knowledge helps you make a better decision, a right decision that can suit you well. So that's the first thing is the market research. But more important than that is the second thing. What's the second thing? That is your self research, which is researching yourself, right? In it comes your mind, your heart, your soul, your past, your present, your future. So that's your self research. Now, if I have to choose between one of them, between self research and market research, I think the research on yourself is more important in this decision of yours. I'll give you some example here. Now, I've been trying to think about my next steps over, how can I get better? How can I do things better for a long time? And I have been facing this decision paralysis. I've been talking about, this inability to make decisions, and I have faced it myself, right? So there were things in my life that were in my life so big at the time, but these days I hardly ever get to have time for them. So, one example would be in my teenage, I was a football fanatic. I would wake up, play football, watch football, watch previous matches, get a hype for the coming matches. I used to read articles, I used to, research football so much. So a big chunk of my day would go into football. All right. At that time, I considered using football for my personal interests, for something to turn my passion into money or something like that. But it didn't work out. I did try a few things, but it did not work out because now it makes sense to me. Because after my self research, after understanding myself, I understand that football did not have much priority in my life. It was there for entertainment, it was there for, other purposes, but I did not value it that much. I knew I was invested in it for a long time, but I did not value it that much. All right. So it did not stay with me. All right. But there have been things that have stayed with me. What are those? Right. Those things are the ones that I value so much. They're the things that were with me in my past. They're the things that are with me in my present and will stay with me in the future. Right? How can I say that? I can say that because I have done my self research. I've understood myself. I've realized that there are things in my life that I value differently. Some of the things I value more, some of the things are what I value less. So I value, as an alternative, I value learning quite highly. I'm always trying to learn something, and that has stayed with me in the past. It stays with me in the present, and I can see myself learning in the future. All right. So when I'm thinking about what should I do, the market will tell me different things. The market will tell me this drop shipping, this blogging, this all kinds of things that I could do. But my self research tells me that there are some things that I value so much, all right, that I value so much that have been staying with me and will stay with me. So now, if I go with those things, if I kind of turn them into what I want to do, then I can fix one problem, the problem of longevity, the problem of consistency. That will be fixed if I choose the things that stay with me. All right. So taking on this learning thing, um, if there are days when I do not stick with learning, I know for a fact that after some days I'll resume learning. All right. That is not the case with my football. I was so in on football back then, but I hardly ever watch any matches. And I don't see myself watching them anymore because that had a limited scope in my mind. Learning is a different thing, it has a bigger scope in my mind, it has a bigger value to it. So, um, from your self research, now this was my example. I put my thing before you, but you should do your own self research. You should understand what were the things in your past that um, were there that you valued a lot but have long gone. All right. And what are the things in your past, in your present, in your future that have stayed, have stayed with you? Now, those are the things that you should think about when you're thinking about your next steps. All right. So, so look at the market research and then look at the self research and then combine both of them. That will give you a better co-adder. That will, hopefully you will come out with a better decision. But understand that our decisions are not the final decisions. We will have to keep doing micro and macro decisions going forward. So you need to have this ability to pivot yourselves, to adopt, to change. These things have a lot of value attached to them, and they are there for a reason, right? But to get started, you need to start somewhere. All right. So If you're thinking about getting started somewhere, do some market research, do some self research, understand yourself, because you will have to do this work. No one's coming to do it for you. You'll have to do this work yourself. So I've chosen for myself as an example learning and simplification and sharing those things. I am doing that. I've been doing that for some time now, and I can see myself doing this going forward. All right. So that's how I came up with this decision. It's some of market research, some of my own self awareness and self research. All right. Using the same method, you could come up with a right decision for you as well. All right. So I hope this one was useful for you. This growth journey, it's a long game. It's not something short. It's a long game. But we can all do it together. 1% improvement every day, all the way.